Nearly 5 years after charges were first filed, the trial of former Chicago Alderman Ed Burke is finally underway at the Dirksen Federal Courthouse. Burke is facing 14 felony counts, including bribery, racketeering, and extortion. Prosecutors and defense attorneys must agree on 12 jurors and 4 alternates before opening statements can begin, which could happen Wednesday. The judge said that the trial is expected to take 6 weeks, meaning it should end right around the holidays when Burke turns 80 years old.
Time right now, 7:03. Former President Trump lashed out in a courtroom in New York City Monday as he testified in his $250 million civil fraud trial. Trump was on the stand for more than 3 hours.
And while testifying, he clashed with the judge who repeatedly admonished him and warned him to keep his answers on point and concise. Now, this case threatens the former president's business empire in New York.
Joining us to break this all down is Professor Stephen Caliendo from North Central College. Always good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
It's good to see you both. Good morning.
This was just one day of hearings this week. Tell us how his testimony yesterday will affect future proceedings.
This one's about to wrap up. I think Ivanka's going to testify. His daughter Ivanka is going to testify tomorrow, and then that may be it for the the state's case. It's not a criminal case, of course. It's a civil case. The Trump team will move for a mistrial, which is fairly common. My guess is that they will not get that, and then we should get toward a verdict. But I think the other question is, could there be any criminal charges related to this? Part of what happens during these trials is that as the former president's testifying, anything he says under oath might be used if there were to be criminal fraud charges brought. Remember, this is a civil case, and so we're going to keep our eye on that one as well.
So you talk about Ivanka testifying tomorrow. How is her testimony expected to impact this trial? Obviously, she's been deposed already. Any surprises coming out of this? What do you expect we'll see from her testimony?
No, Sylvia, I don't think so. There's already been one summary judgment made on this case by this judge that there was indeed fraud, and so a lot of what's happening on the trial is to see how much, what is the cost that's going to be associated with what the Trump organization is responsible for, and of course they could lose their license to practice to conduct business in New York City, which is an important part of this as well. So I don't expect that there's going to be surprises. It's really just about figuring out from the judge. And remember, there's no jury either. This is a bench trial. What's going to be how the organization will be held responsible.
Yeah, so it's all up to the judge. Professor, the trial is expected to go until December. What does this mean for the Trump 2024 campaign, you think?
Well, as you know, I mean, this isn't the only trial that's happening. This isn't the only proceeding that's underway, and so there's a number of them that are scheduled at the beginning of next year and into the spring. And so it's very difficult, of course, to be able to help yourself mounting a proper defense while you're campaigning to become president of the United States. It's not that Donald Trump needs to introduce himself to the country. A lot of that work has already been done. He's been president before, and even before then, he was famous. But there's still important campaigning that has to happen. We're going to have a debate tonight among Republican candidates who are also vying for the nomination. He won't be there. Again, not just because of his trial. I think there's some political decisions that he's making about that as well. But all of this does clearly interfere with his ability to campaign.
Okay, Professor Stephen Caliendo, thank you for breaking this down for us this morning. Have a great day.
I hope you have a great day, too.